But let's get into our grand finals. Now this is not the finals that I think anyone would have predicted going into this tournament today. It's not the craziest finals, but I think both of these players are maybe second or third on their side of the bracket for who you'd expect to make it into the finals. And so that's really interesting. It's kind of cool. We get a finals we might not normally get, a best of 5 between two players that I don't see that many best of 5s from. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Post Youth, we have Creator. Team NV's Creator. Coming in here looking pretty strong today. Taking down both Solar and Gumiho to get to the finals. That's pretty impressive results for Creator, I would say. His opponent has been stomping some Protosses, though, so far. Taking down both Classic and Nightmare to get here. In the lower left, it is Dragon Kite's Oliveira. But yeah, Oliveira looking strong against Protoss. He was lamenting the amount of Protosses that he's had to face today already. As this is his 3rd in a row in a tournament where he's had to play 4 matches. So a lot of TVP games. All I would say very different from each other. Classic, Nightmare, and now into Creator. Creator's an interesting player. He's been around a long time, playing a long time. He's never quite reached those big heights. I would say it's pretty surprising to see him in the finals here. The Proxy Stargate into the gold base. Honestly, not moves I would expect from Creator, so that's kind of cool to see. Maybe this is why he's had such success today. He's decided to play a little outside of the box. Of course, Post Youth is already an outside of the box map. And Oliveira is going for a 1 base. He's a 1 base and the 1 map in the pool with a very just in-base expansion. Easy to take. And Oliveira is going for the 1 base. Adept is being annoying, trying to poke and prod here as Creator not really able to scout what's going on. Oliveira keeping everything back. However, this Proxy Oracle can really cause some issues for him. Damage on the Marines can make it a little harder to defend. This is a tank coming out and a medevac. Neither of those shoot up. This Oracle might just be able to get some big damage done. At the very least, it can scout things like the lack of a base here. And Creator's just going to back up after seeing no base. And that is a wild choice. Actually a wild choice. Oh my god. And it means Creator's... I don't think he spotted that medevac. Maybe he did. It's going to come back to hit this. But now the Oracle is in the main mineral line. Just getting 5, 6 kills. Oh, he goes back for it twice, but he doesn't get the 6th kill. But he pulls all of this back home. And now he knows exactly what he's up against. This is a much weaker push from Oliveira. The longer it takes, the worse it is. But he's going to send it anyways. Even pulling some SCVs. I mean, he could just hit this gold base. There's double Oracle here. But the healing energy from the medevac makes that a little bit weirder math against these Marines. And yeah, it looks like Oliveira's just going to siege up this base. I do not think Creator can hold this. Dep's going to come in. Probe's going to come in. Nice force field there. The Oracle's going to trim up a few units out front of the force field. But there is not enough here. A few more Marines show up to help out. And yeah, that is just... This has got to be a dead base, right? Oh, Void Ray coming up. Liberator is here now as well, though, to help out a little bit in the anti-air. And there's a Cyclone, I say, as the Cyclone gets targeted down and dies immediately. But the Marines coming up. The Stalker going to go down. The Void Ray going to go down. Creator is going to lose this base, and he is just going to tap out as he is desperately trying to hold on. But Oliveira's 1 base going to take out Creator in game number 1. Creator took a chance there. He went for the gold, kind of just assuming Oliveira was going to expand in his base and that he'd be able to get away with it against a, a greedy Terran opening. Oliveira played the other side of it, though. He was like, I'm actually just going to go 1-1-1. Who needs this base? That's beautiful stuff. You've never seen that map. That is new to this map pool. Post Youth. Gives us some really interesting games because, yeah, you have that expansion right in the base, and there is that gold the way I've seen that map played, for the most part, I feel like I've only seen TVZs on that map, actually. Is one player goes greedy, and the other player just has to go greedier, is often how it goes. Like, Dark on that map, he will go like super quick 3-base and then pretty much straight to the gold for the 4th, and he's just expanding because the Terran or the Protoss opponent of the Zerg gets that free base in their base. So it just makes the greed usually just goes way up, and I like that Oliveira was playing fully against that. Well, I mean, we saw Creator leaning into that, right? Trying to take that gold base first. I think hoping that Oliveira was just going to play a macro game and he'd be able to get away with it at least for a little while. But yeah, just playing against expectations there. But game number 2 is going to be on Golden Aura. This map has been around a lot longer. And I have a feeling we're not going to see anything too cheeky to start things off here in this game, but you never know. I mean, the chances are there. There is a gold base on this map. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we've got Team NV's Creator. And his opponent in the upper left, it is Dragon Kite's Oliveira. Oh, I don't like that. Alt-tabbed and the music decided to stop playing. I hope that didn't show up on your guys. It might have been a little lag for you guys. Anyways. Yeah, so I'm just looking at it now, the bracket. So I have the bracket is seeded based on Aligulite rankings, which is pretty close to objective, but not always 100% true, I guess, but as objective as we can really get in terms of ranking. And Oliveira was seed 5 in this tournament. Creator was seed 7. That's pretty unexpected for the finals. A lot of times when I seed with Aligulac, we get the number 1 seed against the number 2 seed in the finals. It's pretty straightforward. It's usually Hero and Dark. Sometimes the 3rd or 4th seed will come in and get in there, but today was really some big upsets to make that not happen. I think Creator taking out Solar was pretty massive. Solar was the number 2 seed. And then also taking out Gumiho without dropping a map against either. Gumiho was the number 3 seed. Meanwhile, Oliveira beat Classic, who was the number 4 seed, so those guys very closely matched. But Nightmare taking out Dark, I think, was the other big upset in the bracket. Other than, the biggest upset in this bracket was actually Bunny losing to Lemon. Which I feel like just proves itself as the big upset by the fact that you probably know one of those players and not the other. Lemon he's up and coming, man. He's up and coming. We're going to keep an eye on him. We will watch your career with great interest. He beat Oliveira in KSL, I think 2 weeks ago. I think it was number 49. And then today beating Bunny in what was apparently a banger of a match, too. I know Steadfast cast that one, so either check out his VOD or subscribe to Steadfast YouTube channel, as I know he posts videos on there pretty regularly. I've been really bad about posting on my YouTube channel lately. I've been trying to get a little bit back into it, but I used to make sure to post like every single decent match. And lately it's like, maybe I'll post the finals 2 weeks late. It's hard. It's hard to keep the passion for posting stuff on there when it's like, just feels so slow to grow. Trying to get those subscribers, but man. I did get the Nightmare versus Dark replays. Would be kind of interesting to see what happened in those games. Maybe I'll do a cast of that afterwards. We'll see what time we finish up here. Now Oliveira's going for some pressure. Let's see if he can't push this back, but it is a blink build out of Creator, so he's got a few more of those ground units to actually fight this off. Oliveira decides to just pull back, play it safe, get on home. Doesn't seem to have really scouted much of what Creator's doing. But Creator went from a 3-gate blink just straight into a third base and now into the Robo Bay. So not going to get super aggressive with it. Might just move out with those stalkers and poke and prod. But looks like he's mostly keeping them back at home. Oh, he's only got like 5. Oh yeah, they're there. I was like, what? I swear I saw a couple in the main base. Just hanging out in the corner, making sure the drops can't happen. Oliveira's build does depend a little bit on getting damage done early. So the fact that he just left, like he didn't lose anything, but he also didn't gain anything. And that's a bit of a problem when Creator took this third base fairly quickly. He's already got the Robo Bay. He's already got the Blink Stalkers out. I do like this game for Creator so far. That being said, one thing I like about the way Oliveira plays is it feels a little off kilter. Like I feel like going from his early game pressure into building 4 barracks at once, it doesn't feel normal to me. That feels a little bit off. I'm sure it's like a solid build. He's already done this today, so he clearly knows what he's doing. He's got a plan. I'm not saying it's bad, but it doesn't feel standard. This feels like something a little bit different than how other Terrans play. A little bit different than what you might expect the production and the scaling of the Terran to look and feel like if you're Creator here. There's a weird thing with how the tech works. There's kind of a back and forth with expanding, teching, and building units, where there's certain points of the game you expect to be able to tech, you expect to be able to expand, and then there's parts of the game where you know you're going to have to get as many units out as possible, right? This is very important for the Protoss, even more important for the Zerg. Knowing when to build units is crucial. But for Protoss as well, knowing when you need to get this tech out so you can make sure to have your Colossi out in time to deal with a bio attack. When you want to be just boosting those warp ins and getting as many units warped in as possible. You usually do that right before an attack, so you can maximize your time expanding, building probes, teching, etc. And if the Terran hits at a time when you're not expecting it, right before one of those warp ins, if your tech ended up being a little bit delayed because of an earlier pressure too, maybe you're one Colossus down or something like that. And I think Oliveira is very good at throwing off the Protosses like that. That being said, Creator's coming in here right now. There is a Raven, but it doesn't have Interference Matrix, so this Raven feels not great here. Oh my god, those force fields are great. And now this third base is in some trouble. It is going to get forced to lift and pull back. There's a couple of siege tanks here, so Creator's not going to be able to push super far in right now. But he can just kind of hold this position. This is really nice. Same time, a couple Widow Mines dropping in. Probes getting pulled. Only one probe going to go down. There's the full recall of the army. Oh my god. Oh my god, Creator. Oh no, dude. Alright, well, that was good until all of a sudden it wasn't. It looks like this prism going down on the other side of the map as well. Man, if that Raven had Interference Matrix, that fight would have been so much better for Oliveira. But as it is, he kills 9 probes, damaging Creator's economy pretty significantly. Creator does have a 4th base already up and running, though, and he denied that 3rd for so long. The mining was definitely in Creator's favor until this point. But Oliveira's not done yet. He's got another Widow Mine drop coming in. This time, though, there's a cannon in this base. Doesn't look like he's going to get the 9 probes this time. Ooh, hold on. Hold the phone. Oh, okay, it goes down. Damn, that was close. I was close to another big hit there for a second. Oliveira does have Vikings coming out, though. He's got Ghosts coming out as well. Even getting Ghost Cloak. This is one thing I noticed from his earlier match against Classic as well. He was very quick on the tech. Even when his third base was, you know, big delayed here and wasn't able to get as much mining as he might want to. He's just right into the Ghosts, right into the Vikings. Keeping that production going to get the counters to the units that he needs. But now Creator's going to move across the map. He's got a very powerful army. +2 is almost done for him. Oliveira does have 1-1 finished. But is he ready for this? Anti-armor missile going to come down. Hits a big chunk of Creator's army. There's a nice blink forward, though. Grabs one siege tank. And he's just going to walk towards this third base, which is not fully covered by Oliveira's army. His tank is a little far back. It is going to move a bit further forward as these rocks get taken down. And Creator keeps on pushing in. Does Oliveira have enough here? The anti-armor missile wears off. God, Creator is so far up in army supply right now. It's actually insane. He was like 30 army supply up earlier. It looks like Oliveira is holding on for now. Scan sees the army rotating around. SCV is not going to be able to repair that bunker and keep it alive. Some EMPs do go down, though, and Creator's army is very low on shields. It just feels like Oliveira doesn't have enough bio here to actually sustain this. He does split off some of that bio to deal with that run by, but it was just a few zealots. I think that bio needs to come back and help in this fight. That being said, Creator not really able to push in, just poking and prodding on the outsides, getting a few SCV kills. But Oliveira's at 78 workers. Creator's only at 67. What is he doing? I feel like he's just way down on workers for no reason. He's got a 5th base on the way up. But he's just not mining fully optimally right now. Jeez, words. That does mean his army is going to be bigger moving forward. But, man, his upgrades are not good either. He just got a 2nd forge finished up. He's got +3 and +1 armor on the way. But Oliveira's 2-2 just now finished. So Oliveira is just 2 upgrades ahead. He's a little bit down in that army supply, but it also means he's going to be able to remake his army a lot quicker, assuming both players start banking right around now. Oh, these stalkers try to recall. That's 2-2 bio. Like 4 of them get out of there. The rest of them just going down. You zealots heading towards the main base. There is a turret here that was just built. Creator might need to dodge that turret, or he's just going to fly directly over it because war prisms do not care and actually don't die to a turret. That is kind of insane. At the same time, Oliveira pushing in over here, and Creator is not quite ready for this. The Disruptor's a little bit far back, but as they show up now, the bio's going to have to be really careful. Great splits from Oliveira. He is going to start pushing forward. The Vikings just dominating the skies, taking down those Colossi. The split against the Disruptors. None of those Novas really connecting very well. That being said, 21 SCVs going down back at home as a big Zealot warp in gets in. Oh, this Prism staying alive is crazy. But Oliveira kills 2 bases at the same time. And while he has lost 22 SCVs, the worker count is not terrible for the Terran. If he can clean this up. It's kind of a big if, though, because this is still a lot of Zealots in his main base. He's finally pulling home. By the time he cleans this up, he's got to lose a barracks. 31 SCVs going down. This is now becoming a big problem. And Creator's going to try to compound it and make it worse by coming in and hitting the third at the same time, forcing Oliveira to split his attention. And if he's not looking for even just a second, those Disruptors will just crush him. Oliveira does clean up the main finally, but he's losing a lot of supply depots and a lot of random annoying things like barracks. He needs to heal his barracks or he's going to lose that production as well. Scans sees that this base is not done for Creator, and I feel like that makes Oliveira feel a lot better about his situation. Because right now, it is 4 bases to 3. Even if Oliveira has 20 less workers, the mining is honestly going to still be relatively comparable here. Just because Creator can't mine super efficiently. He's very mined out in the natural and in the main base right now. Even the third is starting to mine out. He needs to transfer some probes down here. to be able to mine more efficiently. And Oliveira is taking a 5th. And while he doesn't have a ton of workers, he's still got what, 5 command centers here. He can build 5 workers at a time. He can drop 3 mules at a time. There's even a 6th command center just floating around up here. I think Oliveira is going to stabilize pretty quickly. But Creator does have a lot of disruptors out now. I will say, though, Oliveira has shown some great splits today. He's been up against disruptors a couple of times, and he hasn't taken any big hits just yet. It's an important thing when you're fighting against disruptors. Liberator going to be annoying here. A few probes going down, a couple of stalkers. Ooh, and we've got a nuke down at the gold base as this army tries to move up on the north side. The probes are going to evacuate as the nuke has been spotted. Now the ghost's going to come back around, see if we can get some damage done. Maybe. Yeah, it's gonna not fire. It's on stop position. Planetary is done here, but Creator could probably just go kill that if he wanted to, as the bio army is very far away. Another nuke in production. I'm liking this game for Oliveira, man. Creator, it feels like he is trying to just avoid a fight right now. But as I say that, he just pushes in. Who needs to avoid a fight when you can just push in? Oh, I think Creator needed to avoid this fight, as there is just a bunch of bio coming in from all directions. Disruptor Nova's coming out. Some great splits again. Some storms are landing. The bio just running through them, though. Do they care? A scan to kill the DTs. I think this bio is just going to dominate this Protoss army. The splits against the disruptors. The upgrade lead that Oliveira still has. The EMPs. And just not enough here for Creator. And it looks like Oliveira is going to push through and take game number 2. I do not see a way for Creator to get back into this. There is the GG. And Oliveira again, for the second time today, showing just how strong he is in those big army fights against the Protoss. He is not scared at all about fighting against disruptors. He knows he's got the splits. He just kind of waits, doesn't get too greedy until he's got a good surround. Lets the Protoss walk directly into his trap. We saw Classic do it earlier on, and now Creator doing it. It's kind of interesting because I feel like, yes, there's a lot of action earlier on, but as we get to those big macro moments, I get so worried for Creator. Like, how is he going to fight this? Oliveira just seems like he's got it figured out. He's got the army. He techs up super quick, so if you get to maxed, he's usually got just the better army to deal with things. It's not just a bunch of bio and medevacs. No, he's got the big Vikings, he's got Liberators, he's got Ghosts. He's ready for you. It's different than some other Terrans. Like Gumiho, I feel like there are some similarities between Gumiho and Oliveira. But I think Gumiho in that situation, when he's max versus max against a Protoss, I feel like I seldomly see Gumiho take a good fight and win the game. It's usually the opposite that happens. I think Gumiho needs to get a lot of damage done earlier to be favored against the Protoss. Feels like Oliveira's just got it covered, man. The Protoss needs Reavers. You know, I didn't get to watch any of the StarCraft 2 / Brood War mod tournament that they did. I wish I had. I heard there were Reavers, and I heard they were really good. But I don't know. Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. It's a fun idea. The StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2 thing. I remember, God, wow, what was it called back in the day? There was like a mod somebody did in the arcade where they put all the StarCraft 1 units into StarCraft 2. What was that called? It was like jeez. I can't remember. That was fun too, though. I like that idea. I'm glad we have the StarCraft 2 that we have. But it's fun to think about like what StarCraft 1 units would look like in this game. Anyway, it's game number 3, spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Oceanborn. In the red this time, it's Team NV's Creator. And his opponent in the upper left, well, mostly in the upper left, as he seems to be proxying a little bit, it is Dragon Kitesy's Oliveira, who has decided to spice things up. He's up 2-0. He's on match point to win another KSL. And he's going for the proxy. It looks like it's just going to be the 1-Rax Reaper proxy to try to be annoying here. This is Creator's second KSL Finals. He did lose the first time he was in the finals, which was just a couple months ago. It was in March. He lost to Hero in the finals. But that's the only other time he's been in the finals. Creator has not won a KSL yet. Which is, like, in a way, kind of what I expect from Creator. Like, a couple of finals, handful of semis, bunch of round of 8s. Hasn't quite gotten the win yet, though. But now he's in a bit of a tough spot. Down 0-2. Oliveira is going to be annoying here, forcing Creator to build the Zealot. Stalker's about halfway done. See if this Reaper can get any kills. It looks like the Zealot's going to be enough to just buy time until the Stalker gets out. Ooh, but we're not done yet. Hold on here. Oliveira is not just proxying a Reaper or two. He's got Marauders coming out with Concussive Shell, a Factory, and a Starport back at home. Oliveira, he's trying to close this one out, man. A Zealot and Stalker are going to run across the map, where there's only going to be a Hellion out back at home. That's a bit of a problem for Oliveira. But it might be more of a problem for Creator, who's not going to have anything to defend these Marauders. Of course, he can recall. Oh, but I kind of like this from Creator. He took the Nexus, but it feels like he's just going to get real aggressive here. He just doesn't have a lot of production. That's his biggest problem right now. Third Hellion being made. Ooh, Oliveira's got to be careful not to lose this Hellion. He is going to lose the Hellion. No, it stays alive. Supply Depot's getting hit, though. But at the same time, Marauders and this Reaper are heading across the map. Creator's going to have to make a decision. Does he want to keep pressuring over here? The Medevac is out, helping to heal these units up. The Zealot's going to go down, though. Oh, the Stalker does stay alive and gets recalled. But it's very low. And there's no shield battery here yet. It's almost done, but Oliveira's going to dive forward. Concussive Shells is done. He's going to kill one Stalker, kills 2 Stalkers. This third one is so low, it's just running away as the probes are doing their best. Oh, but the shield battery is done, which means this Stalker can live. Oh, no, it can't live. Oh, Creator got too far away from the shield battery. He will finally kill these Marauders as the Adept pops out to finish it off. But now the Hellions show up. And these probes are in some trouble here. Oh, one of the Hellions dies. That's actually huge right before that first shot got off. The probes, though, still in a little bit of trouble. They're going to go hang out by this shield battery. It looks like Creator holds on. And now, that's a problem for Oliveira. His CC just started. This isn't quite over yet, but honestly, I think Creator's okay. He's got 3 gateways. He did not greedily tech, which I think might have just killed him here. Got some good micro as well. More Stalkers coming over. The Cyclone is here, but on its own, it's not going to be enough, and GG gets called, as Oliveira did not do enough damage to justify being that far behind in terms of the expansion. And he is going to go ahead and tap out, as those Stalkers would just... I mean, it's just going to be too many Stalkers. And pretty shortly after that, Creator would have just been able to walk across the map. Honestly, I think if he just goes for Blink off the back of that, there's nothing Oliveira can do to really defend it and take a base and have any chance in a longer game. So GG. It was a close one. But yeah, Creator does it. Holds on. Doesn't let it be a clean sweep. All right, Alcyone going to be map number 4. Let us see. Let us see if Oliveira can close it out. Maybe Creator. Maybe he's starting to come back. Maybe he can pull it back to a win. Only one way to find out. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner. Winning the game, but still down 1-2. It is Team NV's Creator. Did I say upper left-hand corner? I meant right. I don't know if that was clear by the fact that he's in the upper right-hand corner. His opponent, who's in the lower left-hand corner, it is Dragon Kites's Oliveira. No proxies this game, at least to start off with. We'll see, though. This probe could drop a cheeky pylon out on the map. We did see Creator proxy a Stargate in Game 1. It didn't work out for him. But I wouldn't hate to see something a little cheeky from him again. See if Oliveira is able to keep this probe alive this time. His match versus Nightmare, he had just the worst RNG possible. And he kept trying to move the SCV around the supply depot, but just kept staying on the outside and the probe killed it. It was so sad. Does look like Oliveira is planning on taking a base after this, so no 1-1-1 this game. He has been liking that, though. I like that Oliveira has been a little bit all over the board with his builds. Dropping in a cheeky 1-1-1. Last game going for the proxy Marauders. Makes it a lot harder for the Protoss to play against if they don't really know what you're doing. And Creator's got to be careful. He's got to make sure he scouts well. Keeps an eye on what Oliveira is going for. Or, this Twilight Council, he could just get aggressive himself. And that's, if you're worried your opponent's going to be aggressive, a lot of times a good strat can just also plan to be aggressive. Because particularly a lot of like Oliveira's builds, it's just a handful of units, usually not a ton of production behind it. He's trying to get in while the Protoss isn't quite ready for him. But if you have like a bunch of Stalkers that are about to have Blink and you get hit with something from the Terran, just it's not going to go well for that Terran's attack. It's kind of similar to like PvZ in that way. I was talking earlier about how one of the way Dark counters a lot of Protosses is he'll just be gearing up for an attack that's going to hit right after the Protoss's attack would hit. So the Protoss's attack comes in, and there's just 40 roaches there waiting for them. And man, that just absolutely crushes most Protoss attacks, just having a bunch of roaches ready. It's kind of the same thing here, as if Creator's defending with an impending attack, could put him in a very good position. We'll see if that ends up being true. As Oliveira is coming in here. Blink is on the way. Oh my god, but Artosis, no. Woo, the Stalkers, one gets in, but Blink is not finished. This Stalker cannot really help, and neither can these ones now. It does look like this Cyclone's going to bite the dust here. But the Marines are in the main base. Secondary pylon's going to go down. And this is now all very annoying for Creator to deal with, all because that second pylon to help those gateways and that Twilight Council were a little bit late. 7 probes going down, not to mention the trades with the units, and A lot of these units getting out of there in the medevac going to go hide in the back corner. Creator replanting that pylon. But this is so painful. And he doesn't have a third on the way. We're 5 minutes into this game. He is going to put down a third base now, but Creator wanted to attack. He wanted to get aggressive. And Oliveira didn't let him. And now, oh my god, even one of the gateways is still unpowered because this pylon isn't in the exact same position as the first one. This kind of stuff is really annoying. And Oliveira is going to come in with the Cloaked Banshee now as well. He still has 4 Marines and a Reaper in this medevac. So he could try to be annoying with them as well with the Banshee. Second Banshee going around the other side. Creator's coming in. He's got a handful of units here. He's got the Warp Prism. So he can be annoying on the other side of the map too. We'll see if there's enough here for Oliveira to defend that while being aggressive on the other side. Oh my god, is there an observer? I don't think there's an observer out just yet. Oh, there's one. It's getting recalled. But this drop is coming in. I think the Stalkers just win that fight. Banshee doing its best over here. Now there's 2 Banshees in here. And there are observers, but it's still 7 more probes going down. Still a lot of annoying damage to have to deal with. At the same time, Creator jumping in here, but the 2 siege tanks helping to defend. 4 SCVs go down. Oliveira maintains the worker lead. And even as Creator's third base finishes up, so does Oliveira's. He's even getting more kills. Creator sending those Stalkers the wrong direction. Loses like 3 more workers because of it. Looks like one of the Banshees did die though, so only 1 Banshee to be a threat here. I still overall think this is very good for Oliveira. The trades have been pretty close, slightly in the Terran's favor, but pretty close in general. Just think it was that late third, meaning that Creator hasn't had the economic lead for much of this game. He also hasn't been able to really do much with these Blink Stalkers. He does have a good handful out now. But usually if you build a bunch of Blink Stalkers like that early on, you want to poke and prod. You want to pick off a lot of Marines and keep your Stalkers alive as long as possible. Most of the Stalkers have stayed alive, but so many probes have died. These Stalkers need to be careful. If they blink in, this siege tank will blast them. Blast them! There they are! Blast them! But behind this, Creator getting into both Storm and the Robo-Bay. So he's planning on a big macro game here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try to take a 4th here pretty soon. And just kind of hope Oliveira doesn't push for the next couple of minutes. But that's the tough thing. Oliveira's got 4 siege tanks out. He's got a lot of bios. Stim and combat shields are finishing up. He's got 5 barracks here. Stalkers are going to pick off a couple of SCVs. But the worker count is even between them. I feel like Oliveira has a really big chance to push in the next minute or so. Creator is taking a base and he's teching right now, which means his unit count isn't really going up that much. He's trying to get good units out instead of a lot of units out. Oh my god, but the storms, hold on. Creator losing a lot of Stalkers for that, but he just stormed the crap out of that bio. Damaging a lot of it, killing a bunch of Marines there. That might have been worth the Stalkers. The trades are still in Oliveira's favor, but it's not hugely in his favor. And now Creator's got Disruptors on the way. Double Disruptor production, in fact. Zealot's dying in the middle of the map, though. Is he going to have enough time to get these units out? A scan is going to spot this Disruptor on the high ground. Oliveira just going to sacrifice 1 Marauder for that. Going to split up and get these Widowmines probed. There's the cancel on the 4th base. And that, honestly, for Oliveira is already some great damage. Canceling a 4th base. We're almost 10 minutes into this game. He's got a 4th command center finishing up back at home. He doesn't have to push super hard here, but he's got 4 siege tanks. He's got Ghost to EMP. It's kind of like he might as well. Just needs to be careful not to eat a big Disruptor Nova. And there finally is a big Nova coming in. But at the same time, 12 probes went down. The 4th base was canceled. That Nova is going to be enough to just push Oliveira away. But it's not enough, I think, to win the game for Creator. Or anything like that. It's just enough to keep him alive for a little while. He's got another 4th base coming up, but Oliveira's taking the north 4th as well, giving him a great position to push from. Honestly, I wouldn't hate to see him try to kill these rocks. Push through the middle. I think he's got a good chance here. That being said, the army supplies are very similar right now. Oliveira is about to be on 1-1, so he'll maintain the 1 upgrade lead for at least a little bit longer. Oh, wait, no, never mind. He's got +2 attack on the way. So he might be able to increase that upgrade lead as the game continues. Both players are chilling. This is feeling a lot like game 1. Wait, game 1? No, it was game 2. Excuse me. We were macroing up, and I just kind of liked Oliveira's position better in general, and that's kind of how I'm feeling again here. We don't have Colossi out for Creator this time, but this time there's the siege tanks for Oliveira. The disruptors, again, and except for that hit earlier on in this game, we haven't seen any hugely massive hits for the disruptors. It's just been a couple units here, 1 unit there, forcing the splits. There's, you know, 2 more Marines or so. It's not bad damage, but it's not necessarily enough. The Vikings dive forward, sacrificing themselves for the kill on that prism. They do get it, but Oliveira is going to keep on pushing, trying to dodge these storms, dodge these disruptor novas. That one does get a couple of ghosts. Ooh. Disruptor gets targeted down. The tanks over here still holding strong on this side as more Vikings go in and die. Wow, that tank shot actually hit that stalker. Even like right as it blinked, it hit that stalker. Creator is rotating around, and I think Oliveira has spotted this, and he's going to try to rotate, counter-rotate. Whoa, this is getting real spicy. 1 tank gets left up there by accident. Double drop here as Oliveira's trying to get damaged on that side of the map while defending back at home. Did he bring enough back at home to defend, though? This 3rd base is all of a sudden in a ton of trouble as Creator dives right into it. A couple of siege tanks here, but there is storms. I mean, this is Creator's whole army. Meantime, on the other side of the map, there is the double drop in here, getting a lot of probe damage. But if Oliveira is just losing his whole army back at home, I think Creator's got this, man. Oliveira is doing chip damage on the other side of the map. The nuke is going down. The defensive nuke. Has Creator spotted it? He has spotted it. He's going to kill the ghost. He takes it down. And this double drop is cool and all. It's going to kill a couple of bases, which is kind of wild. Creator is not dealing with this at all. But Oliveira's supply blocked at 117 supply right now, and that is a problem. He's got the same overall supply as Creator's army supply. Even less now. And Creator's just going to dive up here. If he can just kill this production, there's nothing Oliveira can do about it. And I already think there's nothing Oliveira can do about it. He's coming home with those 2 drops, but that is not that many units. SCV's getting pulled up. He's got 1 shot to kill this army, and he is going to go for it. But I don't think he's going to quite get it. Let's see if he can do it. This is it. Oliveira hitting from multiple angles. He's got siege tanks. He's got ghosts. I was going to say he's got SCVs, but they're pretty much all dead, and that is going to be GG as Creator ties the series up. And what started to look like it was going to be a clean sweep for Oliveira has now turned in to a game 5. Ooh, baby. You'll love to see it. I was real worried. That was just going to be a 3-0. Oliveira was going to take it. He had that cheese in game number 3. I thought was going to close it out. Those Marauders were looking scary. But finally, Creator putting himself in a good spot here. I really like that rotation. He realized, like, you're very far away from your base. You're attacking my 5th base. I'm going to rotate around. By the time you react, I'm going to be in your 3rd. Oliveira was going to try to like hold on and just push him back from the high ground and then go for the drops, but he wasn't there in time. Creator got up to the high ground, and that was just kind of it. Those drops end up not doing too much. We see it time and time again with the big base trades. Whoever just commits super hard, like Creator did there, yeah, whoever commits usually comes out on top. Because one person like has all their stuff split, and even if they're getting damage done, probe damage, even nexuses like that, it just means nothing if the other player has an unbeatable army. He said, he's so cute. That little face. Such a baby. Oh, all right. Creator has returned from the restroom. And now we're getting into game 5. We're going to Ghost River. My favorite of the rivers. I'm actually pretty sure the river on this map is the same river from Ghostbusters 2. I think that's canonical. StarCraft takes place far in the future. But, you know, that river still exists. It's still here. Snaking through this map. I don't know where else it is. Oh, there it is. Doesn't that feel similar to the one in Ghostbusters 2? I don't know. I haven't watched that movie in so long. I feel like it was green, though, wasn't it? Anyways. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our blue Terran for Dragon Kites Gaming, Oliveira. His opponent in the upper right for Team NV, it is Creator on match point to win his first KSL. Can he do it? Can he close it out? Or is this going to be another second place for him? I don't know. I'm kind of pulling for him. I like Creator. I've always liked Creator. He's an emotional player, but I feel like his play style doesn't always feel emotional. If the game gets hectic, sometimes it can feel like that. Like last game, I feel like it had just big screw it energy. Where he just was like, I'm tired of this. I'm just going into your base. I think I got you right now. And he just threw it right in there, started working, and he went with it. But I feel like a lot of times he does have like pretty solid standard play. Doesn't feel like... I don't know that I usually see his play reflect his nerves. Which some players, it can be very clear they can make a big mistake. I don't know that I see Creator do that all that often. It feels like a lot of times if he does lose, it's just the little things. It's the little things. He's been playing for so long, too, that I feel like overall he does have a good consistency. But generally that consistency is like a top 8. Creator, in my mind, he's a solid top 8 player. He can bump that up. He can get a top 4. He can even get a finals. I feel like if it's a big tournament, I'm definitely not expecting Creator to win the finals. Even in times when he's like won his group, taking out the big name players in his group and stuff like that. I feel like we, get to the bracket stage and it doesn't always last for him. But I'm also surprised if he's knocked out early in a tournament. Depp takes one for the team there. Does see that it's a Hellion and a few Marines. As Oliveira looks like he wants to put some pressure on. I don't think Creator saw if there was a base. Oh, he did see that there was a base. That's actually really important to know that Oliveira's got a command center behind this. Because Oliveira's 1-1-1'd already like a couple times today. So it's a big difference there. Creator needs to know. He got to know. And it is a Phoenix opener for Creator. Into the Robos. It's going to be Phoenix Colossus here. Good old Phoenix Colossus. However, Oliveira seems to have correctly predicted this to be the case. And, oh, hold on. Hold on here. He was building the interference matrix upgrade to get a Raven out, but he cancels it. Was he trying to show Cloak? I thought he was just going to get a Raven with the interference matrix because that would be really good against Colossi. Used to be the standard before the interference matrix was an upgrade. But I think it can still be quite good against it. That being said, I guess the Phoenix will just kind of kill it. Instead, he's going straight for Vikings, just going to try to match air dominance with his opponent. Phoenix is obviously a lot quicker than the Vikings, but the Vikings much longer range. Higher damage per shot. Ooh. Ooh. Creator, did he cancel? What did he cancel? He canceled something. I thought for sure he was going to be going for Colossi, but he's just going for Immortals and then dropping the Forge and the Twilight Council. I'm wondering if he had a Robo Bay on the way or if I just thought that was coming. But it looks like he's hard switching away from Colossi and into, I'm guessing, Charge Lots, but he could just be going for like a Blink Stalker thing here. Phoenix is in the meantime going to get a few SCV kills, pull Oliveira back from his attack, and yet it is going to be Blink and +1 for Creator. So he is just hard switching in tech. This is really dangerous because he's invested a lot into other tech that is not going to be incredibly helpful to him right now. And it's going to be a while before this really comes online. He has enough Stalkers to do anything with it. So if Oliveira was to attack right now, a little bit of a weird army for Creator to defend with, but 2 Immortals, a couple Force Fields. He does still have a few Phoenix out. I think he'd be more than okay. Creator just keeping an eye on things out here. Oliveira getting into his 5 barracks that he likes to get into. His 3rd CC is done, just morphing into an orbital in the main. Phoenix is going to find some more damage here, delaying some of these barracks a little bit. Needs a Widow Mine shot, but gets those Phoenixes out of there. Templar Archives coming down for Creator. It looks like he might want to try to catch this army as it comes over towards the 3rd. And he will catch a handful of bio units and a siege tank. And he is going to stop his base from landing for now. Being very annoying to it. He's actually going to have to float all the way back into the main to just stay alive here. And trimming off those units means that Oliveira is going to have a tough time pushing out again. This is really, really nice for Creator. Oliveira's in a tight spot. He's got 5 Vikings, which are just not super helpful here. Warp Prism is here for Creator as well. Oh, as he's going to blink into the main base. There's a lot of bio up here, though, and a siege tank sieging up as well. These Stalkers are a little bit stuck. They're going to have to run away immediately, so there's a good defense from Oliveira. But he's down 20 workers. He does not have his 3rd base on position yet. It actually hasn't been repaired up. Oliveira needs to be careful here. He is moving out. Looks like it's just the Stalkers here, so they're going to have to run away. I was worried if we just saw some big force fields go down, Stalkers might be able to focus his orbital. But it looks like Oliveira will finally be able to take his base as Creator pulls most of his units back, but he's got Storm on the way, charge. He's got +1 armor coming up. Creator's got a lot cooking on his side of the map. That being said, Drilling Claws is coming out for Oliveira as he's recognized this is a very gateway-heavy army now. Wants to get those Widow Mines up and running. Go ahead and drop a 4th base. I was going to ask if there was a Ghost Academy. There's already Ghosts out, which is kind of insane. This is another thing I've really noticed about Oliveira. I think I mentioned it earlier. He's teching so quickly into Ghosts. Just straight into them. He didn't even have a 3rd base this whole time, and he's just into Ghosts. I think a lot of players would be like, no, I need to keep the bio up. I need to just focus on bio production. These Ghosts have been really crucial for a lot of these fights, especially against all the sentries and against all the High Templar that are coming over. There are, it's just 3 High Templar on the map right now, but those storms have been huge. There's been a couple of big storms today on Oliveira's army as well. He's able to get those EMPs off first. Changes the game up a little bit. And it looks like Creator does want to attack in. He's up quite a bit of army supply. He's up in workers. His +1 armor is about to finish. He's going to start poking and prodding the Stalkers first, but then with the rest of the army shortly after. Even adding in a fake Colossus there for a second. I don't know where that fake Colossus went. I swear I saw one. Splitting off those first few Zealots. Gonna drop some big storms down. Some EMPs going off. Those are big EMPs. The Bio's gonna have a much better time fighting against this now. Are we gonna land the Vikings? Oh, another storm. Oh, that storm is huge. The Bio just sits in it. And then the Immortals just crushing through those last few Marauders. GG gets called. And Creator gets the reverse sweep over Oliveira. Takes him out. Oliveira looking like he had it, man. Just crushing through the Protoss today, taking down Classic, taking down Nightmare, then 2-0 in the finals up against Creator. But Creator says, not today, my friend. Not today. I want to win this KSL. I want to get the W. Pulls the reverse sweep, pulls it back, and Creator takes it 3-2. GG.